this is Liz. Welcome to my little urban homestead and welcome to Fabric Friday. Wasn't sure what to show, so I've decided to make myself another top. So I'll show you some of the things that you do towards it. It's very lightweight, but you can do this on anything. This is how you do a dart. When you've got your pattern and you've marked where it's going to be, pin it to the wrong side. So that's the right side, it'll be finished there. And what I do is, rather than starting on the edge, that's it, put it where it needs to be, drop my needle in it, couple of stitches, and then back to the edge and then forward again, and that will lock your stitches in place. Now you can draw a line and follow it down. I just go by eye. But it needs to be smooth. You don't want to suddenly rear in. It's a small diagonal. And as you can possibly see there's my little blue dot. That's where the tip of the dart goes. So I'm slowly going in towards it. When I'm on the last couple of threads of the fabric, back it, couple of stitches, and then out. And that's the dart, and you can see there. And most patterns say press the dart so the material goes downwards if it's a side dart. So there's the dart. I'll bring you back in a moment. So I have pressed the two front bust darts down. Yes, it's a bit on the wide side because I want it very loose, so it will be gathered, well, tucked in trousers and that. But that's the dart and it's pressed down. And this is the front. On the back, the darts are at either side of the neck. So what we want to do now is stitch the shoulder seams. You see that? Yeah, stitch the shoulder seams together. I've also cut out a facing, and that's for the front and this one for the back. And as you can see, I have overlocked the edges and I have put some lightweight interfacing on them. So I'm going to overlock some edges on the shirt, sew the shoulders together, and also sew the shoulders of this together. I have overlocked the seams and then sewn them together and pressed my seams open at both shoulder seams. I have done exactly the same with the facing. So now it's just right side of your top together with the right side of the facing, put them together. Would help if I'd got it the right way round, wouldn't it? Yeah, Don't worry that it doesn't match up exactly, because as long as you match your sleeves seams up, then you can sew round, and that's what I'm going to do now. So sleeve seam to sleeve seam, there, and this side. Now I think I should show this on non-delicate fabric. Sleeve, shoulder seam to shoulder seam, sleeve seam, shoulder seam, and there it is. So now we're just going to just get a few clips. This is very slippy, delicate fabric, so you have to be really careful with it. So I think I'm going to have to do another one another time where it's not delicate fabric. So well, I'm just showing what I'm doing at the moment. So there is the next bit to line up. And that bit to line up. And then do the back as well. Obviously the back is not going to be as awkward as the front, because the back, if you have long hair, your hair could be covering it most of the time, but people will definitely notice the front. So there it is. Now I'm going to sew all the way around, and I'll start in the middle bit at the back. It's a bit on the awkward side, but I find it easier just spread it out a bit, and that gives you space then to do it. Find a place and start. Drop that, drop the needle, take one clip out, I haven't bothered to back tack because I'll be going all the way around, and I'll back tack over my started stitches. It's not a race, so you don't have to go mega fast or anything like that. Just make sure you don't want to pleat so many pleats in. the facing sewn on. You will then, you can clip all these so it'll turn better, but this is how it'll be, and I've got it the wrong way around, never mind. Oh, I have got a little tuck in there, that plate, so I think I'll unpick that bit and redo it, because I've got a plate in it. Just check I haven't anywhere else. No, I haven't anywhere else, so I'll unpick this bit, then I've got this little plate in, and reset it, and then I'm going to understitch, and I'll show you that in a moment. I've sorted that out now. I normally would turn it and then top stitch it. And top stitch it down, but this time I'm going to show you how to understitch. So I should have done it before I trimmed me neck edge up, but never mind. Get it, you want your seam allowance pointing towards the facing, and get as close to the seam as you can. So if I can find the remote and then zoom you in. Now with this being white, creamy coloured, it's difficult for you to see, I know, but I'll bring it up to the camera once I've done it. So make sure your seams are all laying towards the facing, and then sew a straight line just on the facing side. All the way around. Hopefully you can make this out. There is all the understitching on the side of the facing. So when I turn it over, it'll give me a really nice crisp edge once it's pressed. At the moment it's all over the place. Once it's there, what I like to do is just hand stitch just a couple of stitches at the top to just hold it in place. That's back and the front. But I'll finish it off, press it and show you what it's like. Here is the finished shirt. I have not pressed it yet because I wanted to show you the collar on it. Well, not the collar, but the neck edge. So you can see that because we've done the understitching on it, it lays very flat. So once you press it, that'll come up really flat. And there it all is, finished. Thank you. Bye.